Welcome back to the Daily Venture, as I have a load of stuff to get through regarding the Hocus Pocus 2, Warner Brothers troubles, Thunderbolt news, Deadpool 3, and the Scarlet Witch news. Not to mention the MCU actors that portray Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor potentially starting a singing group, and the delay of the Blade film angering its lead actor. That's all here. Ahead of Hocus Pocus 2, actor Bette Midler announced that she is uncertain if a third installment in the franchise would include multiple spin-offs or movies. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Midler ascribed, "If there was a third one, of course, I'd sign on, but I don't know how." She goes on to add, "I can't imagine what the story would be, but I love Winifred, Sarah, Mary, and our relationship. It's good for women. We stick together through hell and high water, but we do cause mayhem, and not many women cause that much mayhem." She even expressed how she is thankful to have been added to the second installment of Hocus Pocus, stating, "After 30 years with no sequel to Hocus Pocus, I've always been envious of people who get to do their favorite character more than once. The fact that we got to do this finally, after 30 years of promoting the idea, I'm glad we got to do it." Hocus Pocus 2 arrives at Disney Plus near the end of September. According to the movie's synopsis, it is set to occur 29 years after the unplanned rebirth of the 17th-century Sanderson sisters. More than ever, they are driven on the exacting range of Salem Town. The only individuals who can thwart them are three courageous high schoolers. The movie Resolve sees the return of all three sisters, portrayed by Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy. Midler said the three were thrilled when they were asked to come back to the franchise. "They presented us with an outline," she remembered, "and after we picked ourselves up off the floor, because it's been 27 years, we looked at it and I think all of us agreed that it was pretty great." However, not everyone from Hocus Pocus is coming back for the sequel. James Marsden is not repeating his role as Binks the Cat, though Binks is still coming back to the new film. According to Hocus Pocus 2 director Anne Fletcher, she accepts creative rights toward her direction to the cat, clarifying that the film contains no talking cats. On the bright side, also coming back to the cast is Doug Jones as the lovesick zombie Billy Butcherson. Fletcher said that Jones' execution in the forthcoming film blows your socks off, stating that it's something she'll never forget. Hocus Pocus 2 hits Disney Plus on September 30, 2022. Meanwhile, according to a statement from The Wrap, a suit on behalf of the Collinsville Police Pension Board, a shareholder of Warner Brothers Discovery, was filed alleging the streamer embellished HBO Max subscriber numerals by roughly 10 million. According to the case, Warner Media manufactured the subscriber integers by including as subscribers AT&T customers who had received bundled access to HBO Max, but had not signed on to the service. It also says that hundreds of thousands of people could enter the suit due to the enormous number of WBD shares. The suit arrives on the heels of word that Warner Brothers Discovery is amid significant monetary grinds. After an August payments call indicated that it fell $2 billion short of Wall Street calculations, the company's stock plunged. Only days before the buzz of WBD canceled Batgirl. At first, a source spoke this was because an examination screening confirmed the movie would be irredeemable, but another citation theorized the revocation arrived so that the struggling WBD could utilize it for a tax write-off. Batgirl isn't the best example of the organization suddenly changing the release of one of its movies. Shazam 2 and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom both met substantial current delays, which Boris Kitt, a scribe for The Hollywood Reporter, declares, _s what a financial mess Warner Brothers Discovery is, as the studio has only enough cash to release 2 movies from now to the end of this year, Don't Worry Darling and Black Adam. As of now, the fate of WBD is fuzzy. In late August, it was reported that they fired 29 workers, including several influential execs. These discharges come from WBD. Head CEO David Zaslav expects to arrive with $3 billion to repair the institution's low debts. The corporation has even met significant releases in expansion to film cancellations and holdbacks. Meanwhile, Comcast CEO Brian Roberts is reportedly watching an acquisition of the organization in 2024, so he can join WBD with NBC Universal. A source assumes that Zaslav would accept being bought, clarifying, "There are some good synergies," adding, "I'm sure Roberts is licking his chops because the WBD stock is so low. And I think that's Zaslav's endgame. Get the place sold." Sam Wilson, aka Captain America entertainer Anthony Mackie confers the chance of him recreating the Star-Spangled Avenger in the forthcoming Thunderbolts film. Marvel Cinematic Universe superstar Anthony Mackie delved into the potential of his emerging as Sam Wilson, aka Captain America, in the forthcoming Thunderbolts film. During a discussion with Variety, Mackie was questioned if he would be coming to Thunderbolts film, to which he replied, "I have no idea. You know how it works. Marvel Studios calls you the week before and are like, we own your ass. Come get in the movie." Before this, Mackie apparently assured that he wouldn't appear in the movie while indicating that he expected Steve Rogers actor Chris Evans would come back to the MCU. "You know, Chris Evans is my boy, we all love and enjoy Chris," Mackie said. "I'm highly upset that they've put Sebastian Stan, aka Bucky Barnes / the Winter Soldier in a movie with Wyatt Russell, aka John Walker / U.S. Agent and left me out. If Sebastian gets Wyatt, I should get Chris." Aside from Winter Soldier and U.S. Agent were seen last in Disney Plus's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The remainder of the roster in Thunderbolts will feature Yelena Belova, Florence Pugh, Taskmaster, Olga Kurylenko, Red Guardian, David Harbour, Ghost, Hannah John Kamen, and Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, as shown at D23 Expo. Concerning her comeback to the role of Ghost as a team component, John Kamen stated, "Well, she doesn't like to be touched, so that's gonna be interesting. She's quite socially well, she's not social. She grew up in the vat, so she's never had human contact with anyone. It's gonna be interesting for Ghost to connect." Stan also examined being a component of the Thunderbolts, providing why Bucky is an associate. "Well, listen, you know, these are my kinds of people," Stan stated. "They look like a good troubled bunch, and maybe I know a thing or two about that, and I'm just really glad to be back and, I guess, join a team of some sort." Linking this, Marvel Studios president and Marvel CCO Kevin Feige called Bucky the team's most stable member. As for Mackie, notwithstanding his possible role in Thunderbolts, he will be in the forthcoming Captain America: New World Order. In addition to the movie presenting the superhero Sabra and catching Sam's Falcon and Winter Soldier ally Joaquin Torres replacing Sam as the former hero, it also saw the return of the Incredible Hulk's Tim Blake Nelson as Samuel Stearns, aka the Leader. Thunderbolts come to theaters on July 26, 2024. With the stunning news that Hugh Jackman would be coming back to his role as James Logan Howlett, aka Wolverine in Marvel Studios' Deadpool 3, buffs are reaching for a particular another claw-wielding mutant to enter the Marvel Cinematic Universe as well. Marvel fanatics on social media are expressing their wish to see Daphne Keane repeat her position as Laura Kinney, aka X-23, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Keane played X-23 in the 2017 movie Logan, a spin-off of 20th Century Fox's X-Men movie franchise that apparently acted as Jackman's last expedition as Wolverine. A spin-off movie concentrating on X-23 joined the action after Logan's discharge, though fallen to set, with the Walt Disney Company's purchase of Fox probably having the killing blow. Keane has since moved on to star in BBC One and HBO's television adaptation of his Dark Materials. "If Hugh can come back, so can she," one Twitter user wrote, referring to Keane. "Marvel Studios, I am literally on my knees, please bring back Daphne Keane too as X-23, another user argued. Also, a different account said, "Since Hugh is back, can we please get Daphne Keane back as X-23 for her movie that got shelved from the Fox merger?" Multiple other users repeated these beliefs, driving X-23 to trend on Twitter. The cloned daughter of Wolverine, Laura Kinney, aka X-23, first emerged in the animated series X-Men: Evolution in August 2003. She then earned her first comic book arrival in NYX number 3, which was released in December 2003, with a cover date of February 2004. Laura's comic book manifestation finally became a full-fledged associate of the X-Men, actually functioning as the Marvel Universe's primary Wolverine for a while. Keane brought X-23 to live action in the Logan mentioned above, which has existed hailed as one of Fox's extremely best X-Men movies. A follow-up to Fox's 2 Deadpool movies is now in the works at Marvel Studios, with Ryan Reynolds positioned to repeat his function as Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool. Sean Levy, who drove the Reynolds-led movies Free Guy and The Atom Project, is linked to conduct from a screenplay by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, who wrote the first 2 Deadpool movies. Reynolds reported that the tentatively titled Deadpool 3 would release in cinemas on September 6, 2024. However, the even more significant statement was that the third Deadpool movie would catch Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine one last time. In a follow-up video, Reynolds and Jackman affirmed that the Marvel Studios movie would not unlace the sad ending of Wolverine's on-screen voyage in Logan. In other news, Marvel Cinematic Universe vet and Scarlet Witch performer Elizabeth Olsen told the lessons she discovered while recreating the character of Wanda Maximoff. Olsen examined this lesson while talking to Variety, stating that performing as Wanda has guided her in how many things and opportunities you can do with one character. She said, "It kind of breaks a feeling of limitations when you get to be with a character for so long and continue to change the narrative of how this character is used to tell a story. And so, that kind of opens up how you think about how we can approach character and storytelling in challenging ways, hopefully." Among those possibilities was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which caught the Scarlet Witch evolving into a wrongdoer, though Olsen said she didn't think of Wanda as such. Ironically, Olsen once said she didn't see Scarlet Witch as a role model, noting how she's created big mistakes and doesn't like to think of her as one. On the issue of the Scarlet Witch playing the villain of Multiverse of Madness, the film's scribe, Michael Waldron, stood by this statement, connecting it into her arc from Disney Plus' WandaVision. "My interpretation of WandaVision is that she confronts her grief and she lets go of the people she has under her control, but I don't think she necessarily resolves her grief in that show, and I don't think she resolves her anger," Waldron told Variety. "Maybe she's able to say goodbye to Vision, but I think she's really just fallen in love with her sons, Billy and Tommy. Waldron also demonstrated the intention to make Wanda evil-doing by talking about the Darkhold, which Wanda obtained from Agatha Harkness in WandaVision's series finale. "You see in the final scene of WandaVision, that tag the mistake that our Wanda makes as she opens the Darkhold," he stated. "She starts reading, and I think it preys on her desire to have those children and have them for real this time. So yeah, that was how I arrived there. It made sense to me, and it made sense to our teams because we built the story." As for Scarlet Witch coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe again, it was verified that Olsen will repeat the role for at least one more assignment, which will be a forthcoming episode of What If. Also, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige teased that Wanda may have survived her presumed end in Multiverse of Madness. Directed by Sam Raimi, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is currently streaming on Disney Plus. So that was today's news for today. Thank you for watching, and please leave a like and comment below, as I would greatly appreciate it. Until then, venture onward.